You may have seen the story on 60 Minutes last night, how a Wisconsin family who lost their daughter on September 11th is finally getting some answers. A New York's medical examiner's office has spent years working to identify remains from the terror attack. CBS 58's Pavlina Asta talked with a local family today about the impact of those discoveries.
I consider it an obligation to keep being notified of pieces of her being found.
In New York City,
for the medical examiner's office to continue to be an advocate for those families and to be trying to provide that closure is extremely important.
23 years later,
not knowing where they were, what they went through.
Families continue to get notified when pieces of their loved ones are discovered.
It's owed to those families. It's owed to the people who were killed.
And for some,
and that feeling of loss, it's hard to describe to other people.
That pain is close to home.
Because you're flooded with things that happened, but you're also mourning what could have been.
Gordon Haberman comes to the Wisconsin 9/11 Memorial in Kewaskum often to remember his daughter, Andrea. She was on the 92nd floor of the North Tower. When they didn't hear from her, they drove 16 hours to New York City.
We were actually, I think, the third car through the Holland Tunnel to get into Manhattan.
It wasn't until May of 2022.
They had discovered the first piece of Andrea.
The New York Medical Examiner's office found some of Andrea's remains, and those identifications have continued for years.
To date, they've found 13 pieces of Andrea.
Haberman says having and knowing they continue to find pieces of Andrea helps him grieve.
Every time something happens or an artifact is recovered or a piece of her is recovered, it's more part of the story.
A story never out of mind.
It's a process that I committed myself, at least, to go through, and she deserves that.
The Wisconsin 9/11 Memorial have identified 18 people who died during 9/11 that had ties to Wisconsin. They will be memorialized in their new monument this spring.